I want to start with, what are you building in this season of your life?
Yeah, I think in this season, I'm building a work ethic, like in terms of, thinking back to, the things that made me successful when I was younger. At every turn, it's like, what did you do to achieve X? And it was like, well, I worked hard to get there. How hard did you work? I had to wake up every day. I had to be on time. I had to make sure that I communicated the right way, and it was consistent. And so I feel like now, with what I'm doing and the severity around it, it's just about being consistent and having good work ethic and work habits. And, you look at some of the most successful people, they worked extremely hard along the way and worked really hard when other people wasn't looking. So just trying to bring that back because that led to me being a first round pick.
Mm-hmm. And your talent was unmatched in sport in general, not just in NFL. And, everyone has seen that story, and if they haven't, you should definitely Google it.
It's a good story.
Yeah, or ChatGPT, whichever one you do.
Yeah.
But, I think that level of work ethic is something you learned along the way because what you did on the field transcended what any human's ever been able to do.
Right.
And part of that is certainly just the abilities that you were given, but the work ethic that you're looking at now as this next part of your life as a coach, what would you say to that 23-year-old Mike that was really trying to understand what work ethic was?
Yeah, you're working hard now, work harder. Because you can get really comfortable. I wouldn't say being mediocre, I would say being good. But there's levels to it, and it's great, and it's greater, and it's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you kind of reach a point where it's like, how far do I want to go? When I made it to the league, I was like, okay, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And some days I play great. But it was another level to that now that I think about it, the way I push my quarterbacks, the way I'm asking them to think, the demands. It was the same for me. It's just I'm in a different time frame now.
Your mindset specifically, can you talk about what greatness looks like, and how you were working to achieve it? Because something about you is really true. You're very, very humble.
Yeah.
Although you talk about
God made me that way.
And so tell me about that level of mindset and how you look at greatness and discipline.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't as humble as I am, but that's just the real me. If I didn't come across that way now, obviously, a lot of things matter, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like you mentioned the word complex. It's just complex. So, if I look at my life from just being a young man who was dreaming of doing great things, it was a complex process to get there. My Pop Warner coach used to take us to a field on a Saturday at 7:30 in the morning, make us get up and go throw the ball through a tire. And throwing that ball through the tire was the best thing for me on that morning. Now I get back home at 11 o'clock. I got the rest of the day to myself, but I got some really, really good work in.
Mm-hmm.
And it just taught me that the path to success was gonna be really, really tough at a young age. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to continue to do things like that, because if my coach is not asking me to do that, then I'm not getting better. So I was just always looking at ways to get better, but it was just so complex in how things gotta align, bro. You gotta have mentors too. You gotta have somebody there to push you hard.
Yeah, that's a perfect transition, because I was thinking about the people that molded Michael Vick, right? And there is the people and their perspective of who you are, and then there's obviously how you see yourself. So who is Michael Vick in your mind to others? What do people see, and who is he to you?
To others, a role model, without a doubt. If you'd asked me this 15 years ago, I wouldn't have said role model, because I'm like, everybody got to chart their own path forward, but once again, just being complex, it's like, you understand the blueprint of what it takes to get to being to that successful point. So I understand what I mean to other people. Now, I understand what I mean to the people in my household. And just for me, it's just, learning how I could just continue to grow. Like, I've seen so much growth in my life. Sometimes some people can't look back and see 5 years worth of growth in a lot of areas, and then 5 years of ways to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I'm in that phase now where I'm like, how do I continue to grow?
Mm-hmm.
How do I continue to get better? I don't want to look back 5 years from now and say I didn't do enough to be better in the space that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to live with a lot of regrets.
Mm. And that Michael Vick and how
one
you,
sec.
yeah, you go.
Hey,
This is real life. We're over here. We're keeping this in the interview.
who, you going back out? Is that you? Is you?
This is what happens
y'all
when you
kinda-
come to
y'all
people's
kinda
house. Things happen.
They good.
It's a beautiful family. They're
Yeah,
all,
my kids,
they're all,
man.
they're
It's
all-
Saturday.
Yeah.
They moving around. They can't ask them to be too quiet.
Yeah, no. That's another.
But this is a real life situation.
And so to the point of who Michael Vick is today,
Yeah,
right? And how do you see Michael Vick?
yeah.
The way I see him is this family man who's really investing in himself,
yeah.
right, and pushing himself and his
Yeah.
family. But who is Michael Vick to you now?
Yeah. Now? Wow.
Yeah, now.
I said role model already, right?
You said role model to others.
Because, Lord, I got my family, my kids. Obviously my wife, I got to continue to set standards. My team,
Yeah.
our administration, my outside family, you know what I'm saying? My mom, my sisters. Like, I keep an eye on everybody.
Yeah.
Even when they don't think I'm watching, I want to know. I want to know what my niece is doing. I want to know what my nephew is doing. I want to know because, as we continue to grow, now it's about family legacy, and I think it's important for everybody to understand how important that is. You know what I'm saying? My sisters, my brother, you know what I'm saying, to his kids, and how we, help the next generation continue to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And align with the vision.
Yeah.
So I'm just about, like, right now, I'm setting standards that's high, you know what I mean, for all the people around me. So right now, I'm just a leader in the purest form.
Yeah.
A leader in the purest form.
And that obviously comes with plenty of pressure, right, in its
Yeah.
own right. And how do you manage that in your own way? I think for others who are watching this, they see you, as we said, in a number of different ways. But as a father who's watching you, as a son who's watching you, as a professional, how do you handle and manage your pressure?
Yeah, just keeping, the fear of failure alive in my life. Like, I've always just been afraid to fail. So when I'm facing failure, I find a way not to go through that emotion because it's so taxing. It takes so much away from you. You know what I'm saying? It alters your thinking space. It alters the way you treat people, the way you might go about life. And some people can't handle that. I feel like I know how to handle that, but I don't like dealing with it. I'd rather just, if I can get in front of it and do the right things to get to a place where it's gonna be, somebody's gonna say good things about it. Or somebody's gonna look at it as a positive. Or somebody's gonna say, oh, you did a good thing. You might not have succeeded, but you tried. Like, I'm just trying to stay in that little mental head space. So I would say just the fear of failure. Everybody gotta have that. If you don't, then, what I just said, take it into consideration.
How did you recognize that level, like that fear of failure? Because that's some deep shit.
Through football. Yeah, man. Through football. And I guess, as you grow up, it's like I was kind of looking at life like, I got to do something to get my mom, out of this situation. My mom and dad, my family out of this situation. Not to say it was a bad situation. It's like, I know it's better out there. I know it's more out there. I did my research. I looked into what players in the NFL had or what they owned or how they lived. And
This is at a
without the internet, back in the day, yeah,
like,
without the internet,
13,
yeah, I'm reading the newspaper.
Yeah,
I'm reading
yeah.
I'm seeing that, people in Bruce Smith and, AI and what those guys was able to, accumulate through success. I'm like, it's a way out.
Yeah.
It's a way out. You just gotta, I just, sometimes I wish I would've you know, everybody had their own ambitions and goals, and I wish I'd have just kind of like stayed on some of my guys. Like, yo, let's just push for this. Let's try to be better, but you don't know when you're young.
Right.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that fear of failure is a real thing. Like growing up, you know, I was always afraid to make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And you learn as you grow that it's okay to fail.
Yeah,
it's okay. But
okay.
it's once you get that, how do you pivot?
Oh, yeah, that's part of the process. Like, it's complex, man. Like, I would reference a lot of things to playing quarterback because it's such a complex position. I don't know why we feel like we just gonna keep saying that word.
The complexities of life.
Yeah, but it's like, damn, man, it was so complex. I had to fail to be better, but I just learned, you know, it's only a mistake if you make it twice. Or for me in that position, I can make it 3 times. But probably not a 4th time because my coach would be looking at me like, okay, I'm gonna get somebody in there who not gonna make that same mistake over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And, you know, you start to build it, like everything is about being consistent. It's unfortunate, but it is. And then the occupation,